Thank you so much, Mark. So good to have you back. And just want to note for Flourish, if you're interested, you don't have to be a Jewish professional. We've opened up the scope a little bit. So if you're just interested or you want to dive deeply into these practices in a smaller container and with direct support and lots of resources, and you want to go deep for 12 weeks and get this certification at the end, this program is for you. And Harry put in a little code you can use at checkout for $100 off the tuition. And if you're interested, but you're not really sure, please be in touch with me. I'm happy to have conversation with you about any specific questions you might have. Okay, so here we are. And I'm so happy to be with you. I think in our world right now, as Mark mentioned, there is a lot of fear and suffering, and our nervous systems, many of us are going nuts a little. And so this is, I think, a moment that definitely I need to find some grounding and some stability to be able to show up and to be able to meet the moment with the biggest heart possible and with some steadiness. And this week's Parsha delivers. It almost always does, but this week, for me anyway, it really helped me in this one piece that I want to share with you. And Harry's going to bring it up. So we're in the period of Shemot, the book of Shemot, and this is the moment where God, through Moshe, is telling the people, kind of like telling the people, I'm going to take care of you. They're still enslaved. They have not yet been set free. And they're in a state of despair, trauma, profound suffering. And God says to Moses to deliver this line, convey to the Israelites, I am God. I am the beloved, the mysterious one. I will free you from the oppression of the Egyptians, from the hardship of the Egyptians, um, rescue you from their servitude, and redeem you with an outstretched arm and with great, it says chastisements. It's another possibility is like with great judgments. I will take you to myself as a nation, and I will be your God. And you will know that I'm your God, who is freeing you from the burdens of the Egyptians. And then if you move down just a bit, oh, we lost the last little piece. Oh no, here we go. So I'm going to free you. I'm going to release you from these burdens. I'm going to take you to myself. And I will bring you to the land that I, promised, that I swore to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, for I am God. So it's this message of being kind of like carried out from under this oppression, brought to God's self. I will bring you to myself, and then I will bring you to the land and place you in this land, this place of belonging, this place of home. And Moses tells God's message to the Israelites, but they couldn't hear. Another translation is um, they couldn't take it in. They couldn't get it fully because of their anguish of spirit uh, and harsh labor. And the anguish of spirit there is mikotzer ruach, which literally translates into short breath or shortness of spirit. Okay, so we can take down the source sheet. And I really want to just focus on less the words here and more of the movement, because there is this kind of beautiful movement of saving, so that like there's this outstretched arm, this unburdening, taking away so much of this suffering. I will bring you to myself, which is pretty like kind of the line that's really standing out for me today. Specific line is, I will take you to myself as a nation. So I'm going to bring you in, and then I'll place you in the land. My kids are getting, well, our whole family actually is getting guinea pigs. And this is a new thing in my house. And my kids are very excited. And so we're doing a lot of reading about them. How do you take care of a guinea pig? And guinea pigs are nervous animals. They're what they keep calling in the books prey animals. And so they're used to burrowing, getting underground. They're very anxious, very nervous, and very scurry. Kind of identify with them at the core. And so when you take a guinea pig out of its cage, like you're never supposed to descend down from on high. You're not supposed to open up the top of the cage and grab them, because it looks just like a bird that's coming to kill it from on from on top. So instead, how you're lovingly supposed to take the guinea pig out of the cage is you're supposed to open the side cage and kind of reach in through the door, the front door, like let them in some ways come into your hand carefully. And then when you're carrying them, you're supposed to hold them close to your heart, like pull them in this motion of safety, so that they feel like fully held and supported. And then when you're ready and they're ready to be put down, you place them very carefully down in like a very safe space to run around. So you can see where I'm going here. I think there's something so tender and moving to me about this action, this caring, loving action when we're in a state of high anxiety, nervous system dysregulation. And we have this promise, the sense that God will do this for us. And we can also kind of like mimic it for ourselves in our practice. Because the place we're getting set down, this land, this place of belonging and spaciousness and milk and honey, maybe it's an actual place, but I like to think of it as like, this is our place in this moment, no matter what is happening, no matter the upheavals and the pain and the, dysregulation that's happening around us, we can find our way back with this gentleness to this place of spaciousness and safety, even in a very, very unsafe world, even with a lot of unknowns. But we have to do it tenderly, not from above, not grabbing, but kind of like through the heart, holding closely. So I invite you, it's what I plan on doing, which is to put a hand on your heart. If you're feeling that kind of kotzer ruach, the shortness of breath, you're feeling a lot of anxiety, it might help to just kind of put your hands on your heart. Or you might feel very comforted by putting your hands on your belly, or you can put one on one. Help yourself to feel that kind of tenderness and care from God, from the moment, from the source of life that is always here, always ready to hold us and take us to itself. You can close your eyes for this practice, or you can keep them just softly focused in front of you. And I invite you to come to a seat that feels supportive. You can lie down or you can sit up, but we want to feel that we are supported, comfortable, and yet awake, not asleep. You can feel the ground underneath your feet if you're sitting. You can feel the support of the chair underneath you. If it feels nice, you might roll your shoulders open or twist your body to give that little bit of stretch and opening into the body. You can lift up through the crown of the head if you're sitting. Bring your chin about parallel to the floor. Soften your jaw. Soften the muscles of your face. Relax your shoulders. Relax your arms. If you're experiencing that tightness or shortness of breath, sometimes it might feel nice to encourage big, deep breaths to open you up. If that feels like too much, it's very possible that might be not quite the right thing, in which case I encourage you to just find a different place of focus. It can be your hand on your heart, your feet against the floor, or you can even just use as your focus, your present moment focus, the sounds in the room. Deep breaths to settle the body, finding that place of holding, of support. You'll need to unlock the Bible. It helps, you might imagine yourself being held in this divine holding, just as you are. With all your worries, with all your stress. There is a place in this moment where you are already free. And you are already loved. Seeing if you can find that place right now. Your mind might be going a million miles an hour. It might be thinking of things, worrying about things, replaying things. It's just what the mind does. All of that can keep happening. Your job is to keep returning, to offer all of that up to God, to the divine, to the unknown. Again and again, make that offering, release, and return. letting your attention really soften into this moment, this place, whether that's the rising and falling of the breath or your hand on your chest, or the sounds rising and falling in your space. Where are you right now in this journey of redemption? Are you still underneath the burdens, underneath the suffering in the narrow place? And what you maybe most need is to just come out from underneath it, have that lifted off of you so that you can breathe. Or are you craving that kind of body skin contact with the divine? That deep, co-regulated nervous system that you might borrow to help you to settle. Or are you in a place where you're ready to be put down? You can find that spaciousness in this moment. Knowing, deeply knowing of your belovedness. As you move out into the world. Maybe you're in all three places. Just give yourself that love and compassion. Feel the ways the world and the God is holding you wherever you are. Oh, may you carry this belovedness with you, that sense that you are not carrying these burdens alone, that you will not be carrying them forever, that God or the world and life is holding you close, is bringing you close to its chest, and that you'll find that spacious place of opening again. When you're ready, if your eyes are closed, you can open them and you can bring your attention back into our space together.
Thank you so much, Yael, for guiding us so beautifully today. And just as we're all feeling held by that practice today, I want to invite people to extend that embrace to those of us who are in mourning or observing a yard site at this time. If it's your custom to join in the mourner's Kaddish, we hope you feel free to do so. And if you're not reciting Kaddish, please stay present for a few moments to support those who are. You can put the names or names or name of those you're honoring today in the chat. Which I'll do as well. And if you're reciting Kaddish, I invite you to join me by rising in body or in spirit. And you can unmute. Buchdahl, Buchdahl, Miraba, Yama, Vivra, Yami, Alfute, Achaye Kon, Gilek Kon, Haye, Vipal Arbala,
Vimru Ashme Rabba Dara
Ishme, Rabba, Devarach,
Maya
Lam, Lamaya, Amaya,
Vishtaba
Ach, Vishtabach,
Vitrama
Ar,
Manase
Vitrama, Minase,
Hadar Vitalet
Then,
Halal
Habal, Shme,
Shme
Tukrisha,
Tukvisha
Kum,
Ela
Ilan,
Minkol
Ta,
Birkata
Vishrata,
Bishvata Bishvata
Benechamata,
Minata
Amiran,
Damiram
Ba'alma,
Ba'alma Bimru
Amin,
Main Behi Shlama
Shlama
Rabba
Rabba
Mishmaya
Mishmaya, V'chaim
Aim
Amim, Ko
Aleinu
Yisrael,
Kol Yisrael
Beshalom Bimama,
Shalom Bimama
Beshalom,
Shalom
Alein V'yal Ko Yisrael, Yoshvei Tevel, Tevel, Amen.
Amen.
Friends, thanks so much for joining us today. And if you're leaving us now, we hope you might be able to join us tomorrow. Be led in practice, sit into Shabbat, as we like to say for Fridays, by Allison Cohn. Looking forward to that very much. Just a reminder that we won't be meeting live next Monday on MLK Day, but we will meet next week, Tuesday through Friday, for those who can't join us tomorrow. So if you're leaving us now, I want to wish you an early Shabbat Shalom. Hope we'll see you tomorrow or next week. And of course, you're always welcome just to continue to sit with us with that beautiful guidance that Yael offered us today. You can turn the sound off on your computer or device and give yourself the gift of a little bit of an extended sit, or you can join us for some conversation about the teaching and to share reflections on the practice today. And you could put your questions in the chat. If it's a question you'd like to ask, please write question all in caps, and I will try to work your question in. Yeah, Elle, I think it's going to be a big run on guinea pigs at the pet stores today. I think the market has gone way up for guinea pigs. I'm also full of other guinea pig, quips here, like. But it was, I think, also there's a lot of appreciation in the chat. It is such a great analogy, and I have to admit, I have a little deja vu. Somebody, it wasn't you, but somebody recently, like within the last month, not on the daily sit, but in another context, spoke about something similar, about holding something very fragile that's easily scared. It will come to me.
It must be in the air.
Maybe Nancy Flam at our silent retreat. Anyway,
Mm.
the other thing, so just the image of the hand reaching into the cage and the direction it comes from and the invitation and the kind of reassurance, such a great and palpable
Mm.
image and sensation, really. So thanks for that.
Yeah.
But I want to really interested in, really, I just thought that those couple of verses from the Torah portion are such a fantastic encapsulation. Yet another great classic Jewish framing text for Jewish mindfulness practice and meditation. And yes, I think it was yesterday. I'm a little blurry. Also, yesterday, I think the question was really about. I think, yeah, Mira Neshama was talking about Moses' anxiety and the people, Pharaoh's not listening to him, and the people aren't going to listen to him. So this was a great follow up to that, where this is the reassurance that God gives him and says, I am Yud He Vav He. The translation there says God, but it's always, I think, significant. It's Yud He Vav He. What is Yud He Vav He? There are many ways to unpack that, but I think for me, maybe you can unpack this for yourself too. Like, what does that mean? What do those letters mean as the name of God is being, life unfolding, breath of life? That's the divine. And that is what redeems us and helps us move through the burdens, the weight that we have to bear in life. And the thing that gets in the way of us tapping into that is kotzer ruach, shortness of breath. and noticing that shortened breath and the practice of lengthening the breath and receiving the breath and connecting with the breath opens us up to connection with Yud Hey Vav Hey. So I just thought, wow, it's all there. Not to mention that the different verbs that are used for redemption of saving you, redeeming you, taking you, those are the basis of the four cups at the Seder. And there's also a fifth, the Heveti, I'll bring you into the land, which is the basis for Elijah's cup. So it's so connected also with like core Jewish ritual, right? Of the four cups and Elijah's cup. It's redemptive. So I don't know about others here, but I really felt like I started today in a really, heavy place, and really want to thank you for helping me access my inner guinea pig and just relax into that zone. So I wanted to invite you to, first of all, just unpack a little bit. That was my unpacking of that passage, but anything you want to elaborate on there? Or
It's so beautiful. Such a rich unpacking.
Everybody's thinking of getting a guinea pig, I see here. I was
I
right.
haven't gotten it yet, just to let you know.
Wait,
So
how many are you getting?
we're getting two because they're not supposed to be alone. They have to be with a little friend.
There's another lesson.
And they might be some anyway, it's a whole nother story
Okay.
of
The
my
tour of guinea pigs.
I guess I think what you said is so beautiful. And I think like that just kind of rethinking Yud Hey Vav Hey.
Mm-hmm.
Just that kind of leads to this opening because
Mm-hmm.
it's what you said, it's like beingness, it's an unfolding, it's by its very nature unknowable. Like as soon as we're like, oh, I know what that means, we've basically made an idol. So whenever my mind kind of goes to the word God, oh, I know what God is, in which we all do. It's very human to like make quick idols of God. Be like, I know what that is. And then to kind of keep questioning that and being like, that's the very point of our tradition is like you don't know what that is, but there's like another place of knowing. And in these lines from this parsha that I read to you, there is this line of like, and you will know that I am Yud Hey Vav Hey. So you will know something. And we do know something, like when we tap into the experience, you know something in a very different kind of knowing than how we usually think of knowing. Like, I know what God is up here. No, we don't. But we know there is something there that has liberated us so many times, impersonally, collectively, and that will liberate us again, even when we have no clue of how that will happen.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. Um, it's so unfortunate that for a number of generations now, I guess, the English translation of that four-letter name of God has been Lord.
Yeah.
So unfortunate. It's so unfortunate. That those, for those who aren't familiar, those four letters, first of all, they're not in biblical Hebrew, they're not even consonants, they're vowel letters. They don't have, you can't, there's no, I don't know what the linguistic term is for it. Maybe I don't know if you do, Yael, but it's an unpronounceable name, as Rabbi Arthur Waskow pointed out. It really is a name that is breathed. You can't. There's no hard consonant there. It's just you can't even pronounce it. Like this Yahweh does not do it.
Yeah.
So that is so powerful to connect that with the breath and the shortness of breath. So I really, really appreciate that. And if I may, like what you were just saying, I guess there was a question in the chat about that the use of that name now. And I think the commentary on that is that because it says like, I wasn't known by this name to your ancestors. And it's like, but you were known, but that name is in Genesis. So what do you mean? but there's this new element of, and it wasn't until now that there was an awareness of God's ability to fulfill the promises made to the ancestors of deliverance.
Mm.
And so the knowing of redemption, I'm just going to take the liberty of connecting to MLK weekend that's coming up because, MLK is on our minds. And
Mm.
boy, we could use him these days. And I'm thinking about, I don't know if I'm remembering exactly right. Maybe here someone can either get it or remembers, but in the speech he gave the night before he died, that I've been to the mountaintop speech where he says, I don't expect to get there, but I think he says, I know we will get there.
Mm.
I think he says, I know. I don't know if he says, I believe we will get there. I believe, we will get there, or I know we will get there. But the kind of knowing that you're talking about
Mm.
of that we can only really test in our experience. And I think many of us are filled with doubts actually right now, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Because so much progress has been rolled back and we've so much we depended upon has crumbled or seems to be crumbling before our eyes.
Yeah.
So how can we believe that, as King quoted, the moral arc in the universe bends towards justice? Like, really? But to know that, notwithstanding what's going on,
Yeah.
is really something to tap into our experience. So there's a question here that is kind of just like yet another version of the same question is, and that I'm going to ask you personally, if you don't mind. I'm just going to scroll a little bit to get it. Um, how do you retain the sense? Oh, that this is Laura's question. Thank you for the comfort of your words. God, the world, life is bringing you close to its chest. You are not holding the burden alone. Question: how do you retain that sense? How do you retain that sense amidst the bombardment of anxiety-producing news in the midst of other anxiety-filled humans? That's really,
Mhm.
that's our core. That's our daily question here.
Yeah. I think at least in my experience, I don't retain it. It is not something that is, at least where I'm at, forever retained. But
Mhm.
I think that it's like it's Sharon Salzberg who says like many moments, many times, like
Mm.
it's it's tap inable. That's why we practice to remember, to like actually the in Sanskrit, Pali as well, like the Buddhist word for mindfulness is actually remembrance. It's closer to the word remembering. That's what we're doing when we meditate, I think, is we're remembering that we're not in this alone, that it is not just this tiny little prison of the self that we walk around with all the time. And we kind of have to keep doing it to remember that. And so, I mean, that's my personal thing, is that it's gonna, you're gonna forget and you're gonna come back. And that's that process over and over again of coming back, tshuva, again and again and again. And then maybe when you leave again, it's a little less hard to come back. You've built a sort of a neural pathway that helps you to remember your belovedness. It's a little deeper. The grooves are deeper. So you're still going, but it's not so hard to come back. You're not gone for as long.
Yeah, that's extremely helpful. And I'm now from that, I'm associating for those who may have a daily Jewish prayer practice, or even if you don't really, just being aware every day that the liturgy is full of those little micro reminders, right?
Yeah.
There's in every service, there's Mi Chamocha, of the song of crossing the sea. There's constant reminders that in every generation, this has happened. In the first paragraph of the Amidah about Animahot, our ancestors, about redemption happening, and also that we're always walking in their footsteps and sitting on their shoulders, standing on their shoulders, walking in their footsteps. Choose your metaphor.
Exactly.
Um, is that reminder of not being alone, because that's the, we have this illusion that we're alone. And you really powerfully reminded us today that we're not alone in that. So really grateful for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we have 2 minutes before we close. Being put their ruach for the breath. We'll slow down here for a second. I don't want to go back too much to the promotional mode, but I do want to go back for those who weren't here at the beginning so that we can mention um, the opportunity for Flourish. And you corrected me. So I just want to make sure, because I wasn't sure about that. This offering of Flourish, which begins in May, which is a 12-week
March.
certification program, and being able to lead a sit.
Yeah.
You do this 12 weeks, you'll be able to lead a sit as well as Yael Shy. That's how good it is. Okay. So, and thanks, Harry, for sharing the link. But just to get this straight, this is not just for Jewish professionals. This is for anybody who wants to do this. Is that
Yes,
correct?
we've opened it up because we've gotten a lot of requests for people who might not work in the Jewish world, but would like to lead Jewish meditation, maybe in your synagogue or maybe with your community, or just want that deeper level of immersion than you can
Right.
get in just a daily sit, although this is wonderful, but just maybe want to
No,
kind of
no.
have a group to go deeper with.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's great. Thanks for the clarification.
Sure.
And yes, so Mazel Tov to the guinea pigs who will land in your household. Do you have names yet?
Yeah, my kids named them. One of them's name is going to be Puffin, and the other one's name is going to be Cheerio.
Puffin and Cheerio. Long may they live and flourish in the household. Okay. Mazel Tov on the new arrivals. And
Thank
good
you.
luck, Yael.
Thank you.
We'll look forward to reporting back on Puffin and Cheerio.
I will hold them up in future sits.
Oh, that will be so good. It'll be so good. All right, everybody. Hope to see you tomorrow with Allison Cohn. Thanks, Yael. Thanks, Harry. Any blessings, everyone. Okay,
Thank
be
you.
safe and well.